Hi, my name is Lelia Orji, and today I will be presenting on one of my favorite coping mechanisms. Now, this is most commonly known as the 5-4-3-2-1 method, but in actuality, it is a grounding technique. So, grounding is a type of coping strategy that's designed to immediately bring you to the present moment. They're often used to cope with dissociation, flashbacks, PTSD, and anxiety. So I would just want to take you through the simple steps that I go through. So the 5-4-3-2-1 method starts off with acknowledging five things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Now, this isn't designed to engage all of our senses, which helps us bring it to the present moment. So, to start off, 5 things that I can see around me are my AirPods case, that's 1. My laptop, that's 2. My water, that's 3. I can go right behind me here to our box that we use for our slow cooker. That's 4. And let's see, something simple. These Kleenex wipes, that's 5. And every time I finish an activity, I usually say it out loud to myself and take a deep breath in. Hold for 4 seconds, and then breathe out. And I move on to the next one. So the next thing are 4 things that I can touch. This could be the same as the things that you saw. As you saw, I was reaching for everything and touching everything, but I'm gonna try for something new. For this, you kind of want to be like outside of yourself in a way. If it is attached to your person, that's totally fine. But for now, when you're grounding yourself, when you want to be in the present moment, some things may help outside of yourself. So again, I can touch my keyboard, just tapping that way. I could touch, my favorite thing to touch is my necklace. I like to fidget with it. I can touch the cool granite countertop. I can feel how soft or cold it is. And one more thing that I can touch. I would say, well, usually I'm studying whenever I need to use these techniques. So if I had like a pen or a pencil around me, I would be holding that, feeling that, just making sure I'm present in the moment. Now, before we go on to the next one, we take a deep breath in and out. Moving on to 3 things that I can hear. Sometimes whenever I'm in this setting where I need to do this exercise, it is very noisy. Being at home, it's been very loud. My brothers are much younger than me, so that's something that I definitely hear first and acknowledge that I'm hearing first. Another thing that I would do to kind of help me calm down is put on my favorite song. So that's something that I can hear. And any other external noises. So if I'm working, it's usually the tapping of my keyboard, or maybe it's the noises on my mom's computer when she's working. Maybe it's the footsteps of people going by up and down the stairs, by my room, anything like that. Sometimes it may not be as easy to identify noises. So when that happens, just think of any sort of sounds that you would hear or you would like to hear in that moment. So again, before we move on, deep breath in and out. Next, we're going to focus on 2 things that we can smell. This one is typically harder if you're working or in an office setting. But if you cannot think, or if you do not have anything around you that has a specific scent, something you can do is just think of your favorite smells. For me, I usually work in my room, and that's kind of the place where if I'm working there, I kind of get overwhelmed there. And the things that I do have in my room that are kind of like my favorite scents, I have an incense, so it's rose scented, and then I also have a wax burner in my room. That is, right now, it's lemon sorbet. So I think of those two scents, and before I move on, again, just a deep breath in and out. And lastly, I focus on something that I can taste. This is pretty easy usually, because whenever I'm doing my work, I usually have some coffee or some water beside me. That's what I focus on. I actually take the time to take a sip of whatever I'm drinking. And move on from there. Water doesn't really have a taste per se, but I can focus on the way it feels, if it's cool or not, just things like that to help me move on, help me ground myself. And that was my presentation on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method.